What's up, everybody? It's your favorite reptiles, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Storm Collectibles recently released Reptile. Now, unfortunately, this is just another redeco of the similar mold, but it comes with some different accessories and stuff. So we'll take a look at the accessories, we'll talk about the kind of deco on this guy, then we're going to fly through articulation, wrap it up in some final thoughts, and sort of keep it moving. Not a big review today, but there are a lot of accessories. It does take a fair amount of time to work through them all, so let's not wait any longer. So of course he comes with an assortment of hands, 2 straight karate chopping hands, 2 relaxed / posing hands, 2 bear claw hands, and 1 right gripping hand. Like the others, he comes with 1 cloth face piece replacement. It does look like there's some subtle shading on here, which is nice, and of course it just pegs in the same way the others have. And he also comes with his famous reptile face. I feel like the snout might be a little long, but it doesn't bother me. Painting wise, it's done really well. We got a dark green base, and then we have, it looks to me like 2 layers of highlights in terms of dry brushing over top. The red is done with a more glossy finish, and then the black eye is painted on in sort of the reptilian slit sort of style. And then we have the teeth, which are all painted yellow and then actually all washed with a red, it looks like. And then we have the jaw that opens up very wide and the tongue inside. And we'll talk a little bit about the options with that here shortly. It just fits right on top of the ball peg. It is a double ball peg for the neck, so you still get a good articulation up, down, and the swivel. And the jaw opens a little bit less when it's actually on, but still far enough, I believe. He also gets a long tongue, so to speak, and this is actually done fairly well. So it's this base sort of beige plastic, and then it looks like just a series of heavy pink washes. It doesn't look like a clear paint, and that gives it a little bit of a glossy look and some depth in terms of the sculpted details. To use that, you just have to pop this tongue out, which might be easier to do if we had the head removed. And it's a tight little fit. And then there's a little port in there, square peg here, and voila. And you can do your kind of classic fatality. And the tongue itself is about 5 inches long, so you could probably make a really nice display if you wanted to utilize that. And then lastly, he comes with the kind of slime bubble beginning effect, where like, and it's pretty cool. You like the sound effect. So it's a translucent plastic. It goes from like a lighter green to a darker green in the center, and then there's the more not the bear claw, but the more relaxed hands are what's intended to be used with this, so that you can kind of recreate, you know, the use of that special power. And you can get the arms a little bit more centered than what I have it, but I thought for display purposes and illustration, this would be fine. And then lastly, he comes with 2 of these, which they refer to as acid liquid. I'm not sure I really get the reference for this, but it's been a while since I've played MK2. Once again, translucent plastic, going from a pretty much clear translucent here to a full green at the base, and the fingers for the same hand that we just used kind of go in there. To create that effect, if that's something that you're into. So let's talk about the figure. Now let's go through the detailings and kind of bells and whistles and such. So it's the same exact mold, right? There shouldn't be anything new under the sun here. This ball peg, well, I'll show you the wrist articulation right now. So it's a ball hinge that comes to a ball peg inside. This keeps splitting apart, and then it's basically a swivel at the wrist. This will get you everything that you need articulation-wise, but it has a hard time staying in on mine, and the ball hinge itself is splitting apart. So let's go through. The face is painted and shaded. The eyes are painted. The line work around the eyes are painted. The eyebrows are sculpted and painted. The mask is all sculpted and the black on it is painted. The soft material here and here, to be fair, and on the skirts and on the wrist gauntlets, that's all the softer material. That will allow for articulation. It's sculpted, it's painted fairly well, not 100%, but I think it's because some of the sculpt work doesn't come across super sharp in this material. Now, the wrist gauntlets are dry brushed with a silver on the soft material, and the rest of it is just sort of this, it looks like it might have a faint wash on the green, I can't tell, but basically just mainly the black detailings along the suit itself. And then we have the same silver dry brush on the hand gauntlets, which are painted on top of the hand, and I think the entire skin is also has some shading, and then that belt is sculpted and painted on both sides of the bicep. For the shins, same sculpt. We do have a black, I think it's a black wash. It might be just black line work, or it might be a heavy green dry brush until that black didn't get picked up anymore. And then a silver dry brush over top. And that's it. Otherwise, business as usual. So let's fly through articulation without talking about the wrist, because we already did that. That'll get you in, out, up, down, and swivel around. So no problems there. Double ball peg for the head into the neck. Let's see if we can take this off as well. And it's a long stem, so it's really well done. It should get you everything that you possibly would desire. And we'll take a look at how it affects the figure down to there with minimal effect to the sculpt. Up to there, which we get a little bit of breakthrough in the neck. You gotta be careful. And then the swivel. Once again, I don't like how the mask doesn't form tight, but that's to allow you to swap out the faceplate, so I guess I ultimately get it. Ball peg might be a double, and then a single is a double from the chest into the abdomen, and a single from the abdomen into the pelvis. Utilizing both, you can get the figure all the way over to there, back to there. Teapot a little bit better on this side. I'm not sure why that is. I think it might be a little difference in the sculpt of the gi. The gi itself is sculpted. I'm not sure if I noticed that before, but like even little small detailings underneath. I noticed it up here, but I'm not sure if I noticed it continuing through down, so that's cool. Shoulders, disc hinge in the shoulder into a ball peg into the into the chest with a sleeve around it. That gets you a great butterfly all the way back to there, forward to there, so that's nice. Up to there and around, no problem. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. There's that hand falling out again. I don't know if it's just the mold getting old or what's going on. Double jointed elbow, wrist swivel, hinge in, out, up, down. We've already talked about that. This piece, this soft piece, it's a floating piece, obviously. All right, for the hips. So we have all these flaps covering it. You can kind of see the system in there. So it's like a T-jointed ball joint, or comes down here and then comes out. The tolerance on these is pretty good. You get all the way out to there, no problem. Front and back is a little bit more of a problem, especially for this hip. This one moves a bit better. So pretty much full Van Damme and full Monty. And then you have a thigh swivel built around that ball peg as well. Both of those are a little stiff. Yeah, this is... We're losing a little bit of tolerance in some of these ball pegs. My feet have popped off a couple times, also off camera. All right, wrinkles and sculpt work in the pants still looks good. Double jointed knee gets you a great range. Nice sculpt work on the back with all the wraps and such. Works well. Then we have actually it's a single ball peg down at the foot into a hinge, which is interesting. And I'm not mad at it, but I am mad at how it's staying on. So you get an ankle tilt up that works fine, down that works fine, rocker that works fine, and then an additional toe hinge. And that's this fella kind of in a nutshell. There he is from the back. Not really for a size comparison, but just for a visual, there he is with the other kind of color releases, and hopefully that'll give you an idea of what your shelf might look like. A bag of Skittles tossed on a ninja. Final thoughts wise, he's a cool figure. There's no doubt about it. It has the same great stuff going for it that the other releases have had. Sculpt is good. Paint is probably minimal, but done well. Accessories are fantastic, although I would have liked a spitting accessory. More sound effects for you. The negatives is that, you know, this mold, I feel like it's beginning to show its wear and tear a bit. You know, some of the joints aren't as solid as they have been in the past. That could very well be just the one that I have. I'm sure I'll get comments saying how theirs is perfect, and that's great. But mine is definitely showing wear and tear, especially just handling the other ones, getting them out on the table. I was like, wow, there is a difference here. And I mean, I'm sure they have an Ermac and a Rain and, you know, any other one they can have made. So we'll have to watch how this mold holds up. My other issue is there's still some joint tolerances. Like, that's what this company really needs to work on. I like Storm Collectibles. I think they make a good product. I believe in them. I think they're on their way to do great things. But that's my big criticism of them. That's the big thing I want them to iron out, is those joints that feel like you are going to break the structural components of the figure by manipulating. And I'm not sure I have messed with one Storm Collectibles figure that didn't have that feel to it. That's my main criticism. Lastly, you know, just the fact that I can't help but feel that my Mortal Kombat love is funding the Street Fighter line. You know, this is like the fourth, or actually, if you want to really think about it, this is, I think, the sixth Ninja release. 2 Scorpions, 2 Sub-Zeros, 1 Noob Saibot, and then him. And I know we got new molds coming, and I couldn't be more excited about it. I really want the Shao Kahn. I know there's a Liu Kang coming, a Katana, so I'm excited. Don't get me wrong. I think even a Baraka. Am I right about that? I'm not sure. But I'm excited to see what they have down the line. I'm looking forward to more, but I just can't help but think with so many Ninja releases that my money and passion for Mortal Kombat is paying for Zangief, which is fine as long as my figures end up coming out too. You know what I mean? I'd be lying if I said the excitement wasn't wearing off a little bit. Oh, sweet! My first Storm Collectibles Ninja. I'm gonna open this guy right away! Oh, it's Reptile. Oh, it's great. It's good. It's good! I should probably get a couple things done around the house, though, first, before I start opening toys. I mean, it is really like buying the same toy over and over and over again. This must be how Hasbro mainline collectors feel. Kidding. Maybe not. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.